Hey everybody, welcome back to the Midday Q&A. I'm your host, the Duckman. We're back today with Eleanor, my 1956 Beetle, or at least what you see that's left of her here. This is the floor pan here in my garage. As you notice, it's probably covered in junk, and that's something that I need to get to. I've been trying to get this video together for, oh boy, over a week now. But since I returned from dropping off this car over at... The wind just blew the door shut. But since I just finished dropping this car off over at Earl's shop, I have just been like buried in work. I mean, yesterday was an over 16-hour day, and the day before that was another day like that. I think I might have a day off tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. I don't know. But I've got plans set up for tomorrow. A lot of the questions I've been asked was about Eleanor, so we're going to try to cover these up as fast as we can before we move forward. So please licky, likey, comment, subscribe. Please check out duckshit.net for all my different social media links. Check out duckshit.net/store so you guys can get some merch. That's right. The Duckman's got merch. And I tell you what, when I wear this around once in a while, sometimes people stare at me, and I think they recognize me, but they don't know why. I get stared at a little more often than I normally do, so there's something with that. And actually, one of my friends up in Canada was wearing a shirt he said in a dollar store, and somebody said, you know, hey, I know the Duckman, so that's kind of cool that I've made that kind of a worldwide impact, that people know me from all over the place. Anyways, as always, licky, likey, comment, subscribe, plug that dingle belly. We'll be back right after the intro. So we are back, and some of the questions we've been getting in particular are about the shipping of Eleanor and what was it like to put the body up on the trailer. Now, I'm glad that I did it the way I did it, because everybody's always telling me that I'm always doing something wrong, or that it's bad, or that their way is better than mine. So no longer do I talk about the future in this way anymore. Instead, I only show things after they've already been accomplished. and case in point in this, putting the body up on the trailer, I think I got a lot less comments from the peanut gallery and a lot more questions instead. People were much more constructive. So moving forward, I think that's how I'm going to handle things. But putting that body up on the trailer, some people were concerned that it might be, you know, unusually top-heavy or something. But I don't know of Volkswagen Beetles to be top-heavy anyway. I mean, they do have a bubble-shaped roof, but in my case, there was no glass in it. You know, I mean, there's nothing like that at all. It was sitting on top of a body dolly, which was lower than the body. And actually, that body dolly was kind of heavy. It was probably about 100 pounds on its own. That lumber was just wet. Really wet. Those 4x4s came out the middle of the pile of wood. I had to pick them out one by one. Usually I just picked them up with one hand and just put them on the cart. And those I struggled with a little bit, especially since I got a little tendonitis in my right elbow, which, by the way, this week seems to be better. Now that I'm thinking about it, it hasn't troubled me at all this week. But I also haven't worked on anything at all. I think what I had to do was gripping the grinder and pressing it onto things. It wasn't the vibration or any of that, but rather just the force of holding it up like this. And it was always bothering this elbow. But anyway, I got over that and got past that. But putting the body up on the trailer, I really wasn't too concerned with it being top heavy or frightening or scary. Now, I didn't have any moments of butt puckering during that trip, none at all. The car was actually lighter than putting my Ninja 250 and the SV650, which is over there underneath the blanket, on the trailer at the same time. Now, you got to think, those bikes are right about 400 pounds each. Eleanor's body with the dolly was probably right around 400, less than 500 pounds. So they were lighter than the two bikes. The other thing about bikes is they sit on two wheels, of course, so they're naturally unbalanced. They want to fall over. So when you strap the sucker down, they will wobble. And I would say that pulling those bikes, I've had a lot more death wobbles, or at least it seems like something's going to happen where the bikes start to just shimmy. No matter how many straps you've got on it, there's always going to be a little bit of a wobble. And they'll do that. Eleanor did not. Eleanor was hard mounted. She was sitting on top of the dolly, which was on top of the trailer, and then it was strapped down. So there was 4 points for it to come in contact with. So there was no wobble at all. And I deliberately took the car down the road and slalomed it at about 35, 40 miles an hour. And I even recorded it with this camera. So that way I could see what it looked like, see if it was going to do any wheel lift or anything like that. Again, no problems. The trailer is kind of short too. From the hitch back to the axle, there's not that much length. So the trailer has a very good tendency to want to stay straight. It doesn't, you know, get way out there. There's no leverage for it to really do anything too crazy or too wonky. So it really wasn't a big concern to me. It really it wasn't. So I wasn't worried about it flipping over or anything like that. In addition, people ask, hey, you got this wonderful floor pan. Why didn't you just put the body on the floor pan and ship it out that way? And the answer really is simple. Number one, Earl doesn't need it. if it's in Earl's shop, it's just one extra thing for him to have in his way, and it just wasn't going to work out. In addition, it's got 4 wheels on it, 4 full-sized car wheels, not 2 lightweight trailer wheels. So pulling this thing was going to be just a lot heavier than what I was dealing with pulling the body on the trailer. Just a ton more weight, just absolutely more weight. In addition, it puts the body closer to the ground, so it's more likely to get pinged with rocks and everything else. Really, that was a minimal concern to me. There was no reason for me to pull the pan and bring it on down there. I'd have to pull the engine out. Yeah, there's a lot of work I would have had to do preparing this versus just putting it on a trailer and taking it away. That just made a lot more sense to me, and it worked out a whole lot better. So the other question is, how's Eleanor going to return when she gets back? And really, again, I don't like talking too much about the future, because if I promise you guys something or if I tell you something, there's always going to be a couple people that are going to hold me to it. I don't know how Eleanor's going to get back. I know I don't want to bring the pan down and put her back on for the stone shipping problem. I know I don't want to bring the trailer back and put the body on that trailer and bring it back that way. And some people say, well, you could always just cover it. No, I don't want to cover it, because what happens when you cover a car in a windy environment, in case you're driving on the highway, it's 70, 80 miles an hour, that wind will blow the cover back and forth, and what it's going to do is it's going to sand down on the clear coat. It's going to make scratches all over the damn car, all, swirl marks. It's going to beat it to death. Bad idea. Absolutely not. I'm not going to pull that thing back on an open trailer. So I don't know how it's going to come back yet, but that'll be determined when time comes. And right now is not the time. I mean, Earl only just got the car, and he's only just starting to work on it. So once again, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Yeah, look at the last time that I crossed a bridge. No way! Well, we've got a hurricane out in the Atlantic right now spinning that's heading towards Earl. Earl is on the east coast of Florida, over there in Cocoa, just outside of, south of Titusville, north of West Palm Beach, right in that area. And the storms are, well, it's starting to look pretty bad, and it looks like he has a great possibility of just being pounded by a mega hurricane. Cat 4 is what they're suggesting that it might be. But the weathermen have been very, very wrong before, and hopefully they're wrong again this time. Now, of course, I don't want to see anybody else hurt with the storm, but it just would be nice if it would just go someplace else. But Eleanor is currently in Earl's possession. Earl has locked her down in a safe place in a building that was rated for 150-mile-an-hour winds, so hopefully it's not something that's Cat 5 storm. I hope the storm is, just a fart in the breeze, just a little fart from habanero peppers you had the night before. He's got the car protected, and I've got the car protected. I have Haggerty insurance on it. I insured her for $20,000. I don't think I could replace her for less than $20,000, because if I had somebody else do the work, it's easily going to go probably way over that. I have it set up with that with a $0 deductible for all types of, what do they call it, comprehensive coverage. So anything happens to her, she's taken care of, and also any of her parts. Yep, I'm covered on that. Anyways, I think that's it for now. We do have some big updates coming. One of the things we're going to start getting back on, and you might see this before anything else, is the doodle bastard. I got to clean up this area over here so I can work on it a little more. The good thing is I don't have to do any more welding on this, or at least I don't think I do. I got to do a little bit of cleaning up, a little bit of grinding. Got to seal the gas tank. There's a whole bunch of things that need to be done on this. So this is going to be an upcoming video, maybe even as soon as tomorrow. It depends on how fast I can get my act together cleaning up this garage. That was one of the things I said I was going to do when Eleanor left, is I was going to clean the shop out. And I haven't made it that far yet because I've just been too busy. And I mean, there is just debris all over the floor in here. This place just needs to be run through with a backhoe. I need to just clean everything out in here. And I've been kind of putting it off, but like I said, I've been busy at the same time, so really, I don't feel so bad. Good news is the weather's cooling down, though. I mean, geez, it's like 78 degrees in here right now. I'm not even breaking a sweat. This is weird. I'm not, like, sweaty at all. Usually I'm soaked through in just the first couple minutes of recording a video. So yeah, Doodle Bastard is one of the next things to go. And then Gregory is also going to be worked on. Because we have a deadline in about 2 months that Gregory needs to make it to our local car show. It's the only car show of the year that I try to get one of my projects to. I love the other car shows. I love the people involved with them, but they're not my show. This is my show, and I need to have Gregory at my show. So that's one of the things that I'm going to be putting together. Gregory's currently out in the backyard. You're going to have to wait for Monday's mail call video to see what's going on. It's going to be huge. It's going to be big. This is this is a huge step in the right direction for the progress of my Volkswagen. If you've been watching my Instagram, and I've been telling everybody that because people are asking, hey, Duckman, where you been? Look at my Instagram. Check out my Facebook. Go to duckshit.net. It's my website. All of my different social media links are there. So if you're not visiting duckshit.net and checking out my Instagram and checking out my Facebook, and you can find all the links to everything on duckshit.net, you're probably missing on something that I'm doing. All of my social media stuff is there, with the exception of the Facebook group page. Unfortunately, I couldn't get those linked together due to technical reasons, but I'll deal with that in the future. I post on Instagram when I'm not posting on YouTube, because it's very easy to just take a photo of something and just put it up, and there'll be a little bit of chatter about it, people talk about it. But I have been posting little teasers about what's coming to Gregory. So if you haven't hit up duckshit.net and you haven't looked at my Instagram photos, do it. Do it. I mean, it'll give you a little bit of what's going on without actually giving everything away. If you're a Patreon member, you've already seen. I try to stay up on top of posting things for Patreon people, so they've already got a much bigger teaser and a much bigger hint of what's coming up on Gregory. So without giving too much away, I think I'm just kind of rambling on about it anymore. We're going to wrap this video up. So please, as always, like it, comment, subscribe, duckshit.net for all my different social media links. Do it. Do it. I mean, I'm serious. Hit up the website. If you don't hear from me, duckshit.net is where you want to go. Duckshit.net/store for all my merch. Duckshit.net/CCC to subscribe to Earl. And by the way, his videos on Eleanor are doing just fantastic. Him working on that car, he's getting better views than I did working on it. So I don't know, that says something about either maybe it's my shop or maybe it's the personality. I don't care what it is. Go subscribe to Earl, duckshit.net/CCC. Now, for those of you that are watching this, please hope for the best for the people of Florida here for this storm that's coming. We all want it to go someplace else, but no matter where it's going to go, unless it turns around and goes back. For those of you that are here in Florida, you know, best wishes from me. Please plan for the worst and hope for the best. Just, that's the only way you can handle it from here on forward. Ducks are fighting inside. That's the extent of my first world problems. Ducks in the house fighting. So with that said, stay high, stay dry. Do the best you can to stay out of that wind. And on Monday, we'll be back on this channel with a big mail call video. I mean, it's going to be huge. You guys are going to want to stay tuned for it. So as always, don't forget to like it, comment, subscribe, pluck that dingle belly, so that way you get updates every time I upload a video. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.